I've always spoken about communities and said that, I want to speak with people who've created deep impact on communities. I've obviously had lots of guests in the past, but this is a very different story. For somebody who went to prison for doing things at that age, didn't know what he was doing, the wrong company, wrong kind of people, had aspirations, had goals, didn't know the right path to take. From somebody who spent 3.5 years in prison, and that too in strange ways, to creating one of the world's largest running clubs, a club that gets people from across the country to come in and run thrice a week. Not a fucking joke. Today's guest, and I actually get goosebumps when I say this, Hermen Dange is somebody who I say was born, but he's made. Thanks for doing this, Hermen. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So, who is Hermen Dange?
Where can I start? Hermen Dange, from Manchester. Grew up in Manchester with my mum, and then my little sisters come through. So I've got two little sisters, and like I said, I've had a very good, I say in every single interview, I've had a very good upbringing. Hermen Dange is a hard worker, I believe to be anyway. A hard worker, a friendly person, a person that always strives for more. That is Hermen.
Tell me, in your childhood, as a black boy in a predominantly white school, right? And knowing what I know of the UK, I have a lot of friends who were born and brought up in this country. There's a lot of bullying that happens in schools. What were your experiences like in school?
First started living in London,
Mm.
council estate houses throughout primary school. And then from London I moved to Manchester. So I attended primary school. I've done year 6 in Manchester,
Mhm.
in a predominantly white area. Collyhurst, the area is called. My friend Jake's behind the scenes. We both grew up together in the same area. And then I attended high school, Our Ladies School in Blakely, North Manchester. School was tough, and we was having this conversation just before today's interview with Jake. School was tough, and it's mad because you're exposed to a lot. Again, there wasn't many, people from the same background as me. Like in my school year, all the way through school, there was, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say the word coloured, but there was 4 to 5 black people,
Mhm.
Asian people in my year, probably 2 or 3 mental, then the rest was white people. And then coming from London, where I was used to seeing like loads of, people like me,
Yeah.
and then seeing that, it's like, it was a shock, innit?
Mhm.
It was a shock because other people were shocked. They wasn't used to us.
And which year was this?
This was year 7 all the way to year 11.
So it'll be 2000 and...
So this is 2005.
Mm.
Yeah, 2005 all the way to 2010.
Mm.
Little story, I shared this in the car with Jake. I had a lot of friends in school. Again. Grew up in North Manchester. North Manchester is probably more of a white area compared to South Manchester, where there's loads of more black, Asian people. So majority of my friends were white. I once bought, this was in year 8, year 9, I once bought a mate of mine at the time called James. We invited him to have food with us. Obviously didn't know what was on the plate. He wasn't cultural, don't blame him. He's never been around that style of food before.
Yeah.
And the comedy come out with like, why eating that? That stinks. Do you know what I mean? Mental. Yeah, again, back then it was like, I felt offended, but I was speechless. My mum was looking at me, looking at him like speechless. Do you get what I'm saying? So obviously, because I'm growing up now, I quickly understood that, okay, these people aren't cultured enough. Whereas now, 2025 or past 5 years, everyone's cultured. Like it's a trend now. Do you know what I mean? Thanks to the rest of the creators, the musicians, the footballers, the artists, you name it. But yeah, so growing up, back to your question, it was tough in the area I was from, deprived area, council estate area. It wasn't a clean area, Blakely, far from clean. being black in that area was a challenge, big challenge. But you know, it's what we call life, and we skate through it.
Mm.
You find little ways.
Mm. So what made you get through the school? I would think, and this is I can only imagine how it would be. My dad was in the armed forces, so we traveled across, and every time we went into a new city, it took time to adapt to a new kind of an environment, and hoping that you'll make good friends and you have good people around you. And when you are in a place where you are different, in a way, and how people or the way people view you, did you ever feel that there was lack of opportunity? Did you feel that you're getting the right kind of attention in your school when you were growing up?
Yeah, good question. It's something I always speak on recently as well. At the time, we wasn't exposed to much opportunity. Yeah. Um, as a young boy, you know, everyone wants to be a football player.
Mm.
Yeah. As a young boy, especially if you're into sports,
Mm.
obviously. The dream is to either leave school at the time, you become a teacher, doctor. That's if you're, educated.
Mm.
And if not, a football player. Now, at the time, there wasn't many role models.
Mm.
The area where I was from and the school where I attended, there wasn't many role models. There was about 3 throughout the whole school.
Mm.
Yeah, Jake say won't let me lie. There's about 3 people that had some talent that we could actually look up to.
Mm.
But obviously the queue's long to make it, whether it's, going into teaching or whether it's becoming a football player. So going through year 7, year 8, year 9, I was part of the sports team. My behavior was good-ish. Part of the sports team, wanted to be a football player. Some days I'll make it I'll make it in the starting team on the 11-a-side games against other schools. No, I was never looked at as a role model in school. But one thing I believe that got me through at that time was my behavior, my naughty behavior, which is a sign of confidence. I speak on this all the time.
And we spoke about this. It's, kids who are naughty, right?
Kids are naughty.
They are supposed to be, there's no, and that's also a sign of confidence, in a way. Naughty kids are not necessarily bad kids, if you were to put it. Naughty kids are just, they're just having fun. They are what they should be. They're children.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I think we deprive people of that. I keep hearing this, that, a kid's gone to detention for not wearing his tie or things like that. Come on, man, have an heart.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kids for you. So I'm not saying indiscipline is fine, but there's a very thin line, and I think it's also teachers' responsibility to make sure that they understand what is acceptable and what is not. So I can only imagine how it was 20 years back or 15 years back.
Yeah, 100%. So like I said before, so that naughtiness is a talent. Obviously, we didn't see it as a talent. And that naughtiness, that confidence came from, we wanted to be heard, not just from myself, but from the rest of the naughty kids like Jake and the rest. I'm not going to name any names, but we was naughty because we wanted more. We believed in ourselves. We wanted to be seen. We wanted to be heard, sort of thing. Coming up to year 10, year 11, we're super confident because we're now controlling the school pretty much. Yeah, the year 11s are gone. We're no longer getting bullied off the year 10s and 11s. Yeah. It's our school.
Yeah.
So things change. You start taking risk, and that's when life started going downhill for me. When I was in year 10, I was chilling, hanging about, hanging with people that I shouldn't be with. The people that I used to look up to, the guys in the street corners, the guys that were making, money that they shouldn't be making. Yeah. So money from crime. I used to look up to all that. Now watching certain films and then seeing it in real life, it's like, whoa. And then I believe that everything that I was seeing from outside school in these films, and you name it, I was bringing it into school. Like my attitude changed. Again, I wasn't being heard, and there was a lack of opportunity, like we were speaking on before. I've always wanted to create something for me. My friends, Jake and others, we always wanted to create something for us, like a movement. It got to the point where we started like making music in school because we wanted to be rappers. Yeah. We just wanted to be heard because the guys in London was rapping. the music scene in Manchester, the urban music scene in Manchester wasn't a bit as big at the time. We had 2 or 3 talents. Shouts out to Shifty and all that mayhem. There wasn't many opportunities. We thought, you know what? Let's start doing this music thing. That's all it was really. So it was bringing that back into school and wanting to be heard. So yes, there was a lot of detention. We wanted respect. So we quickly understood that in order for us to be respected in school or outside of school at that age, we need to make some form of noise. Then you start creating your own little circles, your own little gangs, pointless gangs. In Manchester, there's been loads of gangs. Gangs that are bigger than me, gangs that was there before I was even born. And again, as a kid, you look up to all that. They're your idols. Well, they were my idols at the time. If I could go back in time now, I'd start looking at different role models to look up to. But again, I don't blame it. Like, I only blame myself. I don't blame them. They was also lost, these idols. I had older cousins that were getting up to no good, and yeah, that transitioned into school. Cut a long story short, when we was in year 11, that's when I got into the life of crime a bit. So I started selling drugs with a friend of mine, bringing it into school, not making a penny of it in school, bringing weed into school, cannabis. And then I couldn't wait to finish school to sell it for this older person from our estate, from Cheetah Mill. Yeah. We just wanted to make money, not because we needed it. Like I said, I had a very good upbringing. Anything I'd ask for my mum for, it'll be there or she'll find a way. My mum's always been a hustler. And I believe that's the beauty of a council estate. Anyone from a council estate is a hustler. They're confident. They can build a team. You know, you can speak to that neighbor if you need milk. Jake won't let me lie. It's something else. I won't change that for nothing. Yeah, like, if you want to go to a party, you go to next door's party. I was going to parties in my area that I didn't even know whose party it was, but I was chilling. But yeah, I believe that come from my area. The hustle came from my area, my mum. And even though it wasn't legit, I brought it into school because I wanted to show that I can also hustle, basically. Like I said before, I wanted to be seen, I wanted to be heard. And that's when life started going downhill for me.
So you used to run something called Manchester Boys. What is the? I read about it. You know, that's what.
Yeah. So leaving school, cut a long story short, there was 2 older guys from a different area that had a drug phone. A cousin of mine, again, without mentioning any names, he got heavily involved with him. At that time, 2013, 2014, I was kind of doing my own thing with Class A's, in and out of clubs, selling drugs, you know, making money, obviously not real money. Some weeks I was up, some weeks I was down. And then I was hearing stories about my cousin making money. It's what we call OT, out of town, OT lines. County lines started years ago, again, before me. My cousin used to tell me, and I used to witness my cousin making so much money, like $1,000 a day, this, that, and the other. I had a conversation with my cousin. I said, yo, I'm not happy. I need to be making more money. I need to be making more money. Put me on, kind of thing.
Did you at that point of time think that it was you doing something wrong? Was it, what were you thinking?
I always knew it was wrong, but because at the time I've never been arrested for it, and we've always had balls, we was risk takers. There's a saying, like, if you don't hear, you must feel. Like, your parents tell you, your friends tell you, good friends who actually care to say it. I had friends that were saying, look, don't do it. I had friends that said, you know what? Just keep doing what you're doing now, mate, and try and go legit. Do not get involved with these people. Do not go over there and start selling drugs, this, that, and the other. But I was very attached to money then. Still am now, but I could control it. I love money, and I believe we all do. For me, it was just making money fast and need money. Yeah, I want to be this guy. I want to be the guy that everyone looks at, the guy that, you know, people see in the films. I've always wanted to be that person. I also want to be a movie star, a football player, but in my own scene. Yeah, I've always wanted to create my own film back then, basically. So the whole Manchester Boys thing was a group of us that ended up going to a different city, Southampton, Brighton, Winchester, to sell other Class A drugs, crack cocaine.
Mm.
Yeah. We've made money. It came with a lot of headache.
Mm.
Happy to go into a little bit more, but yeah, a lot happened. And we was too deep in. Yeah. Again, before Manchester Boys, I've been arrested like twice. And again, I grew up with just my mum, no father figure. So it was very easy for me to manipulate my mum. And that's the issue. Sometimes when you've got an older brother with a bit of sense or a dad there, you ain't doing certain things. Whereas my mum was playing the mother role / father role. There's little things where my mum would say, look, if you're going out, make sure you come back in for 9 o'clock. By the time 11 o'clock at night comes when she's in bed, I'm flushing that toilet, running down the stairs and going out partying. You know, it's very easy things to do. Whereas as an older brother, or if my dad was in a house, you know, they know what kids are, they know what boys are like. So they'd be on us. So I got away with murder for a very long time. And that boosted my confidence levels. So by the time I come to 2014, the confidence levels were high. 2013, 2014, selling drugs, taking cars out, rentals, going to this county place, selling drugs, making money, coming back, spending it, nightclubs, living a life.
So you got arrested at 22, like...
Yeah, so first time I got arrested, first time I went to prison was when I was 21, just turned 21. Ended up in Strange Ways. Done 6 months in Strange Ways, got released. When I was in Strange Ways, I was actually on bail for the conspiracy, the Manchester Boys thing. I was out for, I want to say about 4 or 5 months. And then I got sentenced, ran a trial, ended up pleading guilty, started educating myself with this whole conspiracy thing. What I got arrested for was a conspiracy to supply Class A drugs with the Manchester Boys, basically. I ended up pleading guilty because I ran a trial for 3 weeks, got very little credit, and ended up getting 6.5 years in prison.
But you got released in 3.
I got released after doing 3.5 years, yeah.
And why was that? Good behavior.
Good behavior, yeah. So in England, depending on your offence, you do half your sentence. Again, that time in prison, something else. Because them 3 years felt like 10. But the people I met in there and seeing other people do longer sentences made me think, you know what? I've got a second chance. All I need to do is apply the same work ethic that I applied in this criminal lifestyle into something legit. But I shouldn't even be saying this, but jail's taught me a lot. It's not the right message to send out to the kids, but I don't want anyone to go into jail, but jail's taught me a lot. I've seen a lot of things in jail. I woke up in jail. I got a career now because of jail.
So tell me your first night in the jail, you know, that's the time you actually sit down and reality kicks in. When did it kick in and what happened?
Yeah, very different from a police cell. I've been in police cells, police stations about 3-4 times for petty stuff, theft, robbing shops, robbing out of TK Maxx. In a police station, there's a mattress, a blue mattress or whatever colour it is, in a room, and all you're doing is you wait for your interview with the officers or court. You know you're coming out at some point. Going to Strange Ways at 21. At the time as well, you had to be 21 to go into Strange Ways. I went into Strange Ways from a night out, cut a long story short. I was at a club, Panacea it's called. It was at a nightclub called Panacea on Deansgate. So I was in this fancy shirt, suit, pants and shoes. You couldn't get in. You couldn't get into this place unless you had a shirt and shoes. Unless you was a football player, you can slide in certain designer shoes. But yeah, under the influence of alcohol, ended up crashing a car, plus other bits. Ended up in court again. So police station. From police station, I went into court. In court, in my head, I'm thinking, all right, I'm coming out. They said to me, I'm not coming out because of the driving the vehicle without the owner's consent. That's what I was getting done for. At the time, there was false imprisonment I was getting done for. and theft of car keys at the time. They were the charges. On top of that, I was on bail to supply Class A drugs, yeah? I was on bail for 2 years. Again, I wasn't educated in this criminal life. There's a lot of people out there that, they don't mind doing crime because they know what to do. They're experienced, I wasn't. I was just doing it for money. Yeah, the thing up north has always been money. Money, 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 money. We didn't care about gangbanging. We didn't care about being criminals and robbing this person, robbing that person. We didn't care about all that. It was just money. When I got arrested, I knew what was coming out. Why? Because I knew I didn't steal no car, this, that, and the other. The judge said, right, you're not coming out. I'm going to hold you on remand. I didn't even know what remand was. I was uneducated. I was like, remand? What's he on about, remand? Turned round. The officer said, yeah, come this way. You're going down to the court cells. I've gone, court cells? Where am I going? Because you're going to prison, mate. Do you not just hear what you said? Boom, reality kicked in. Remember, I'm in a shirt still, suit pants, shoes. Ended up going into prison, strange ways. Got on call it a sweatbox, the bus that takes you to prison. Now, as you know, I'm not sure if you've heard of Strange Ways. Heard of Strange Ways? Yeah. Growing up, Strange Ways is how can I describe it? Strange Ways is probably the same equivalent of, is it Alcatraz in America? Yeah. You see it in the films, that's how Strange Ways gets pitched. There's murderers, robbers, this, that, boom, boom, boom. So I'm going in there, scared, terrified, not gonna lie, scared. Never been to prison before. No, a lot of my friends have been to juvies, YOs, these other prisons. I haven't. My first ever experience was Strange Ways, the prison where you don't want to go to because people are raping people. You're getting rough for no reason, and this, that, ABC, you name it.
Straight into the deep end.
Yeah, straight into the deep end. Went into reception. The first thing was, where you from? Are you a part of a gang? If you're a part of the gang, what's the name of a gang? Is there anyone, that you owe money to? Blah, blah, blah. They ask you all sorts of questions.
For your own safety.
For my own safety. But the more they're asking, the more I'm panicking. I'm thinking, oh my God, what is going on? Like, why are they asking so many questions? Like, what's this Zoom about to enter now? So I'm not going to lie, I was scared. I was terrified. You then get put into a holding cell. A holding cell is when they allocate what wing you're going to. Normally, you're supposed to go into induction wing, yeah? So there's myself and others in this holding cell. In this holding cell, I see an older friend, Sheldon Campbell is called, a role model to me, someone that helped me through my journey in prison, in Strange Ways. He's been to prison before, known character, a man with a big heart. I'm not going to speak about his offences, but he was well respected inside jail and outside of jail. First thing he said is like, what the hell are you doing in there? I was like, I don't know, bro. I crashed the car, bro. And now they're trying to get me done for this, that, and the other. And they said, right, leave it with me. What I'm going to do, I'm going to speak to the officer. Remember, the Sheldon's been to prison before. It's been Strange Ways before. He's a bit older than me. I'm going to speak to the officers. He's from Cheetah Mill as well. I'm going to speak to the officers. You're coming into induction and I'll get you on B wing. In my head, I'm thinking, I don't even want to go to B wing. I want to go home. This guy's talking about going to this wing. I don't want to go to no B wing. I just want to call my mum, call the solicitor. But obviously you can't do that because you've only got one phone call. I wanted to call my mum just to let her know where I am, to get hold of the solicitor to get me out of this place, because the solicitor I got at the time was a random solicitor. When the police officers asked me if I want a solicitor, I was confident enough to say no, because I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I'm not going to prison.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sheldon's like saying all this, you're coming on B, and that's what all the boys are. Trust me, man, you'll be all right. I think you could tell that I was nervous first time. And he was like the father figure to me, innit? Like from day one. Cut a long story short, I've walked into the prison, forgot what time it was, during the day at some point, morning, afternoon, who knows. I'm seeing loads of people now. People are looking at me, or us walking as new prisoners, because, that's what you do in prison. Like, bro, who the newbies? Who's the fresh meat? It's like when you're in year 11 and you're watching all the year 7s come in. The first time I went into high school, we used to get the year 10s, the year 11s, the year 9s looking at us. And again, if you've got no brothers our friends, our cousins in that school, you're in danger. Well, you're not, but in your head, that's what you think straight away. It's the same thing with prison. I'm thinking, wow, everyone's looking at us, so I'm paranoid even more now. Because I don't know who's here. I don't know if this guy's a killer. I don't know if this guy's in for a driving offense. I don't know if this guy's a murderer, so I'm panicking. Yeah? I'm not keeping eye contact. Boom, boom, boom. Shadow's like, yo, bro, you be good, man. That normal. Like, you're good. Trust me. You're going to be in there for like 2-3 days. And then because it's going to get full, you'll be on B wing. I've already told him you're going B wing. I'm thinking, I don't want to be no B wing. Like, I just want to go home. Yeah. Cut a long story short, again, 3 days come. Officer opens my cell. Right. Hermen Dange, off to B wing. Don't worry. Sheldon will be in there. And apparently you've got friends over there. I'm saying, look, I'm happy where I am. This is what I was saying. Sheldon doesn't even know this. I'm saying, yo, I'm happy here. Yeah, I'm crushed in a cell. Like, I'm happy. I've survived 3 days in this place. I don't want to go to Beam where there's more new faces, yeah? No, we need to keep the cell free for the rest of the newbies, mate. Go on, mate. Go on. Pack your bags. Hurry up. You've got to do as you're told. Went over to B wing. When I walked into B wing, I'm seeing faces that I've not seen in the last 5 years.
And that's why.
The Billies, the Lukes, these are all people that was in my year group in school. So I went, what? I'm looking at them, they're looking at me like, yo, Herms. I'm like, yo, Billy, what you saying? Like, no way. I thought, right, this is what Sheldon meant. The boys are in there. And I thought, thank God. I literally said a prayer in my head like, yo, God, thank you. And I'm like, thank you. Because this is about to be an easier journey. It's like school. When you walk into a school or a workplace and you know someone, it makes that journey a little bit easier. I've got a run club now and we'll get to that soon.
Yeah.
When people come to my run club and they recognize someone, it makes it easier. It's that same thing in jail. So it was like, whoa, like what you saying, what you in for, this, that, rare. And I was like, thank God. Like, that's when I knew that I wasn't going to get killed in prison, yeah? Because these guys have got me, yeah? That's how I had it in my head. Like, I'm not going to die. Like, I'm good. I'm in a good place. Cool. Cut a long story short, again, I got my JC. So I ended up, after evidence coming out, I ended up coming out of prison after 6 months, yeah? So I ended up getting a no further action on what I actually went to prison for, yeah? Come out of prison. Again, I was under pressure because I knew that I had to face court again.
And this was after 6 months.
This was after 6 months. I had a chance to go guilty again, but again, I'm a good guy in it. I'm not trying to go to prison. If I could go back in time now, I'd plead guilty, or I would have stayed in prison at the time, which is what Sheldon and the rest of the guys were telling me. Look, if you plead guilty now, you get more credit, bro. This, that, and the other. I know you think that you're gonna bust case, flipping. No, you think that you're gonna get away with it, but they're gonna come for you, mate. It's a conspiracy. Class A is like, everyone goes jail for this. The only way you're not going jail is if you get off, but you need money to get off. Yeah, I didn't have no money like that to get off. Yeah, the little hundreds and thousands that I had wasn't enough to keep me going in a whole different country. If I could, tell you now, I would. Last place I want to be is in prison. Again, being stubborn, not educating myself in a criminal lifestyle. Said to myself, no, I'm going to be all right. God's with me. I'm going to get a job, which I did. Ended up getting a job in a call center. I also worked in a nursery.
Nice.
I never shared this before.
Wow.
I've always wanted to be a youth worker before I went into that life. Because I didn't have the qualifications, the degrees or whatever. I'd done an apprenticeship to become a youth worker, and I got recommended to work at Busy Bees. So again, I was a good guy. Always been a good guy. So I worked in a nursery as an apprentice for a year, and then rather than following through with it, I give up in life. I just chose like the easy route. It was mad. I don't even know why I took that journey. After high school as well, I forgot to mention, I went into a college called South Trafford, south of Manchester. I was obsessed with South Manchester. Again, it was very cultural. That's where all the vibes were. People like me were there. So I kind of wanted to be attached to that. I lasted 8 months in college and I dropped out of college. Anyway, when I got released, I got a job, said to myself, right, I'm going to get a job just to show court that I'm a good person. But unfortunately, it's too late. They go by evidence, not what you do within months of coming to court. Yeah, so I should have changed my life around way before, and maybe I would have got a bigger chance. Again, cut a long story short, I was going through trial. They're coming out with all sorts of evidence. We've seen you here. There's something called cell site that was new to. Again, at the time I was 2021. All these things are new to me. Yeah, the older guys knew about it. I didn't even know what Old Bill was. I remember speaking to one of my friends, the older guys who I went to prison with, and I said, yo, these guys are arrested talking about Old Bill. Who the fuck's Old Bill? Old Bill or whatever. Remember, English isn't my first language. I speak Portuguese. That's my first language. They went, Old Bill. And come on, Herman, bro. That's fucking police. I was like, oh my God. Yo. They're like, Old Bill. Like, court's coming out. Yeah, then the Old Bill, this, that. I got a text on my phone saying, Old Bill, like, after you, they come to this house and I'm like, Old Bill. I'm replying back like, who the fuck's Old Bill? Tell Old Bill to fuck off. Yeah, yo, I'm not knowing who Old Bill is. Anyway, flipping, I'm going into court thinking, yeah, I'm going to get away with this, yeah? Going to get away with this. Week 3 of trial, it's too much evidence. I give in, spoke to my barrister, spoke to my solicitor, said, look, it's too much. If I plead guilty now, what am I looking at? So I was looking at 6 to 8 years. No, it wasn't. Sorry, it was 4 to 8 years. So in my head, I'm getting 4 years. Again, I've never been to jail before for drugs. I've had little offenses, done little things, nothing major. And then they said the exact same thing. You know what? You're probably looking at a 4 if you plead guilty now. Yeah. Went into court because of my involvement and for the work I've put in this conspiracy, which I still believe it was little, but again, it's my fault. I'm not going to argue. They give me 6.5 years. Some people got 8, some got 3 years, some got 2. But because of my involvement and the evidence, 6.5 was the sentence. Went to prison. This time when I went to prison, I'm prison educated. I know how prisons run. And again, I'm going into prison with Manchester boys. First prison was out of town, HMP Winchester. And I have to thank, God, I have to thank the people around me for doing that first prison sentence. Otherwise, I would have stumbled, I would have broke. A lot of people, it doesn't get spoken about much. I go into prisons now and I go into certain schools. A lot of people break in prison because of lack of confidence. The mental health starts kicking in. You don't know anyone. You're lonely. Yeah. You're not getting heard. Police officers aren't going to listen. Yeah. If you ain't got no money in prison, you are not surviving. You need money in prison. The money you get from prison is very small. It's enough to get your credit or to buy a little bit of canteen, biscuits, milk, juices, and you've got to pick one or the other. Do you prioritize phone credit so you can speak to family and friends, or do you prioritize food? Then it leads to, right, okay, you need to make more money. So do I now get up to no good in order to make money? What you do? Prison is a horrible place. It gets advertised as a playground. Far from it. It's a playground because you need to do anything to survive. So I understand why certain people have got phones in prison. I understand why they rap. I understand why they're in a gym, because they're trying to forget about the actual prison sentence. It's tough. People lose their lives in prison. It doesn't get spoken about enough. You see ambulances coming in to pick people up. That ambulance doesn't bring that person back. People are dying like there's no tomorrow in prison. Dying, going. So I've got to stay grateful that I'm still here, still alive. And, God's been with me, innit?
Alive and kicking and doing well.
Pardon?
Alive, kicking, doing well.
Yes.
What changed you in prison?
Utilizing my confidence. That's what changed me in prison. It matured me. It turned me into a bigger man. It forced me to speak to new people because I was very stubborn. In prison, it's a jungle. It's a battlefield. you need to speak to as many people in order to survive. So you need to know people from that section of the jail, from that section of the wing. You need to speak to the Asian brothers. You need to speak to the black brothers, the white brothers, because these guys you're going to need at some point, whether it's in month 1 of your sentence, month 2, month 3. And again, I'm having conversations with business people. I'm having conversations with people that are in for tax fraud. I'm having conversations with intelligent people. I'm having conversations with the most lowest people. But, you know, you're going to need them. You're a family in there, believe it or not. You're a family up until release date. And then whether you choose to carry that friendship on upon release, it's your choice, innit? I survived because of my confidence. I had to go out there and be like, right, okay, prison makes you do horrible things. It's not nice. Anyone who's been to prison will tell you the same thing. Prison turns you into an absolute animal. And that's a different version of me that I've never seen, because I was a good person until I went to prison the second time. Because it's either you get bullied, because people will test you to see what you're about, especially when you're tall and you look a certain way, or if you're in for certain things like drugs. Remember, my sentence was money laundering and conspiracy to supply Class A drugs. So automatically, the other people that are in for drugs, they're competing with you. Yo, how much money did you make? And like, oh, is that what you was doing? How much was your phone doing? And like, yeah, who did you get locked up with? Oh, yeah, you guys weren't on nothing. What, did you have straps? Did you have guns? And so now it's like, okay, I'm being tested. And then they'll start with a banter. And the next thing you know, it's like, yo, I'm going to have to fucking start fighting here. Excuse my French. I'm going to have to start fighting here. So there's been loads of fights. There's been loads of arguments just to survive. And it's like, whoa, like who would have thought? Like prison's horrible. It's horrible. Yeah, it's not nice. I've never seen that version of me. It was either utilize my confidence to argue and fight, or get folded in half and be a bully. But I believe that I made my name. My surname's Dange. Just call me Danger. I made my name in prison. Yeah, because I've never been dangerous. There's a lot of people that are better than me. There's a lot of people that have done worse things than me. Only thing I've done is sold drugs. And yes, it's still bad because, you know, you're killing people, especially the drugs that we were selling, crack cocaine. You're killing people. At the time when you're young, you don't realize it. But in my head, I've always been a good person. But prisons turn me into an animal. Yeah.
How did you get from prison? How did you get into running? I know you know, as a child, I know that you were good in running, and obviously Jake's told me about the school still has that record that the 2-lap run you still have it 5 minutes 59 seconds. You still hold that record. So you were in running, but what made you get back into running, or how you are in a very different place today? You know,
Yes.
you've created a name for yourself.
Yeah.
You have, I would say, it's a complete redemption for you in a way, right?
100%.
Tell me the start point of when did this switch go in your mind and said, you know what, I'm going to change something here, and I'm going to do something with my fucking life.
Yeah, good question. I get asked this question all the time, funny story, and I feel like I've not given full answer. But for those that for those that was in prison with me, they can relate to this. Again, prison's an ugly place. You do anything to come out, to get out your cell. Yeah, anything. You get depressed. Nighttime comes, you can do whatever you want. Yeah. On the weekends in prison, depending on what prison you're at, actually, on the weekends, there's not much to do. It's early bang up. So you get behind your door very early on weekends. It's only like 2 hours earlier. Again, depending on what prison you're in. I've been to 7 different prisons. So at the time, I was at HMP Hindley, 2018. HMP Hindley. On good behavior, I was enhanced. There was something called Park Run. So Park Run visits certain prisons. Are you familiar with Park Run? They do a lot of runs in different cities, different parks. Sick community, big up Park Run, they changed my life around. They came into the prison. I got a slip under the door like, oh, if you want to take part in this Park Run activity in the prison, put your name down, this, that, and the other. Obviously, myself and others, we've put our names down fast, yeah. Didn't know what a 5K run was. Yeah, I didn't even know anything about long distance. The only thing I knew about running was sprints or cross country, because last time I ran, like you mentioned before, was cross country in school. So in school, high school, you do sports day where you do the 100-meter races, 400 cross country. I believe that cross country at the time was 2 to 3 kilometers, or it's nothing like a 5K. Again, I've got ego, I'm very competitive. Put my name down straight away. It was an excuse for me to come out my cell anyway. Didn't know what to expect. It was 11 laps around the yard. Well, the football yard, there's a bit of a football pitch in prison, HMP Henley. It was 11 laps around that. So the prison officers, the PE staff took us out. Again, my ego kicking in. I thought, yeah, let me lock in. I'm going to smash it. Yeah, I'm competitive. I'm running with older people. There's like 40-year-olds there from Parkrun, people from the outside that come in to support us, and other prisoners. I'm absolutely smashing it. I'm like 6 laps in, killing it. Remember, I've not run in time. I'm thinking I'm the old Hermen still from school. No fitness, no nothing. 6 laps in, I'm getting lapped by, someone older than me, 40. I'm thinking, yo, what's going on? Still got like another 5 laps to go. Then I'm getting lapped again. Completed a 5K. I ended up walking. My first 5-kilometer run, I ended up stopping for like 20 seconds. Boom, walked it. I believe my first ever time, and it's online somewhere, first ever time, 5K was 23 minutes or 22 something. 23 minutes, whatever. I got humbled, but I loved the test. And I thought, do you know what? I've just done this for an hour. I've just been outside here for an hour. By the time it took to set up and do my run and then waiting for everyone else to finish, there's a few people that finished within 40 minutes, whatever. For 1 hour, I forgot about prison. Now, the only thing I'm thinking about is like, yo, like, let me crack on with this running thing. Like, this is a hidden talent. I always speak on hidden talents. This is something that I was good at in school, but I didn't expand on it. The only thing I cared about in school was making it as a potential football player or being an artist person in class, being a class clown, being an idol. Why didn't I crack on with my hidden talents? Again, I've never, myself and others actually, I've never been around older people that say to us, look, you've got a talent, You're confident, or you've got a talent, you're rapid. The only things that was getting celebrated back in school was football. My business partner now, one of my best friends now, Yamin, was one of the guys that I looked up to. He didn't know this until very late. I told him whilst, I came out of prison. I seen how he was getting treated, which is bad. He was getting treated like an absolute idol. In PE, Yamin will get picked. And don't get me wrong, Yamin was a machine. He worked hard. Outside of school, he was working, running, doing 5Ks with his other friends. In school, he was working. He deserved to be a football player. He's got his own story. But he was being celebrated by teachers, yeah. We wasn't getting celebrated enough. Fair play. My favorite subject in school was PE. The only time I got celebrated, the only time I felt valid in school was when I won something. Like what you mentioned before, winning a cross-country race or the bleep test coming first. Outside of school, I'm not getting celebrated. In school and other topics, I wasn't getting celebrated. If I was a teacher, I'd be like, do you know what? If I'm an English teacher, I'd celebrate. There's something called celebrating small wins.
Yeah.
But like, do you know what? You're not good at science or English, Herman, but do you know what?
Yeah.
You're sick at PE. Let's focus on this.
So go back to what we spoke about. Did the school give you enough opportunities? Do you think it should be done?
The government, the school doesn't give you much opportunity. It needs to be done. I believe it's getting better now. Like I said now, past 5 years, people like myself, communities like myself and other organizations are making that better. I believe that they're helping the government a lot. Yeah. I believe that it wasn't, talents wasn't being celebrated enough. Going back to the example of Yamin, because there's loads of Yamin, there's loads of football players in different schools that have made it. They get treated differently, yeah, because they've made it and because the teachers look up to football players, they look after certain people a different way and you see that. And as being young kids, it makes you angry.
And it's evident, right?
Yeah, like we're not hating on them, but it's like, wait a minute. Like, I'm also fast. I'm also this. Why can't I get put in some form of program where I get trials? These things are only happening now, 2025, 2024, where this football player or this organization is given an opportunity for kids to have trials. Like, yo, do you not think that we can kick ball as well? Like, we've got Jake, who was captain, smashing it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the opportunity just wasn't there, innit? And this is what I'm trying to change within my industry, within my culture, within my city, world, you name it, yeah? I'm trying to change that. But, yeah, so last time I ran was cross country. I've noticed that I've got a talent in prison. Like, if I just stay dedicated to these 5-kilometer runs, I'm going to fly. Partner was coming every week. They couldn't believe what was happening. Even the prison officers, I went back to the same prison and they'll tell you, I believe that the record's been broken now. Like, yo, Mr. Dange, you've got a new PB. 20 minutes, 5K, not been done before. And I'm like, that was gassing up, fueling me up. I'm going back to the wing, going back to the prison. Yo, I heard you just got this. And it's like, yeah, come on. I'm feeling like a football player, yeah? I'm getting recognition, the recognition that I've always wanted of something legit. Unfortunately, not being paid, didn't care at the time, but it's a talent. People are recognizing me for something I'm good at, yeah? Some people are good at telling jokes. Some people are comedians. You need to tell someone who's good at telling jokes that they're good, that they've got a career waiting for him. Prisoners, remember, we come from council, the majority of us, yeah? Prisoners, the counsellor said to me, like, bro, you need to stick to running, you know, you're doing good things. That's the first time I've heard things like that. And I said, you know what?
Not in school, but in prison.
Not in school, not from teachers, not from other people's parents, from other prisoners.
Wow.
Mental. Yo, you've got a talent here, bro. You can kill it. Like, you've got the height, you've got this, you can kill it. They don't even know what was there to kill. But they just knew that I could do well in something. I knew that I'd never be in the Olympics, but you can never say never, yeah? So that's when my running journey started. It started in prison. Cut a long story short, I got released during the pandemic. The only thing you can do in the pandemic is run around parks, going to the gym, then the gym's closed. I'm doing all sorts in parks, Queen's Park, which is a local park of mine, running, getting quicker, breaking times, 90 minutes, 80 minutes, chopping it down. I'm doing 10K runs, doing marathons, I'm buzzing. But the running journey started in prison. I give thanks to Parkman for the work they're doing.
And you're doing your own work now. You're building the community. You're helping people redefine themselves. I remember walking to your gym for the first time, and we're walking up the stairs, and on the left-hand side is your first run picture.
Yeah.
And I remember you told me that, you know, we just started thinking that we'll do something, and you never thought of it being commercial, or, you know, forget commercial. You never thought of it to be such a big thing in the first place. So how did that first run come to your mind that, you know, we'll just collect people and start running? What were you thinking? And this was when you came out of prison, and this was the first run that you were doing. What was your mindset at that point of time?
Yeah, man. I'm going to say big up Chuck. Yeah, this is for you, bro. He will watch this. So Chet's like a little brother to me, and it is slightly younger than me. I'm 31 now. Chet he's gonna kill me if I got this age wrong. Chet's 28. Yeah. When I come out of prison, I was what? 26. Come out of prison, 26. Chet must have been 24, whatever the difference is, yeah. Still need to work on my maths. Chet witnessed my journey. Chet was that guy like, yo, are you running these times? Chet used to work at JD Sports, yeah. Like, bro, you do know that you can compete and you can get in this race and da-da-da-da-da. One thing that I've done very well is I studied Instagram like we're all doing, you know. There's bigger people than me on Instagram.
Yeah.
A lot bigger. There's ambassadors, blah, blah, blah. The only thing I've ever wanted was to clean my image, because all I kept getting is, because pressure started kicking in, Hermen, what are you going to do next?
It's difficult.
Hermen, it's hard, it's tough. Yeah, especially coming from where I've just come from. selling drugs. People are like asking questions like, yo, I wonder. That's what it is out there. You come out of prison, has my man fell off? Or is my man working for someone? Has he got a normal job? My whole thing was, I need to make something out of this running, out of this fitness thing. I don't know how. I don't want to be a PT. I don't want to be anything. I want to be an idol. So I'm going to wing it. That's all I ever done. And the person that helped me wing it is Czech. And I'll explain how. So like I said, Czech has got a mutual friend to me, Rebel, who's a school friend of mine. We're all from Cheetah Mill. Rebel's from Cheetah Mill. Czech's from Cheetah Mill. Czech basically said, look, bro, you're doing all this training. Yeah. The way you're branding yourself, you're inspiring us. Yeah. You're putting your runs on Instagram, posting your times. Where I work at JD, people pay big for this, and you've got a sick story. And I'm like, yeah, big up, man. So what you saying? Like, what you saying? Like, he's saying all this, what's going on? He goes, bro, start a movement, because you're making posts. I was making posts on Instagram like, yo, doing a 5K, who's coming? Trained it. At the time, it was only Malachi coming out for me, my mate Malachi, who's now working alongside me. We was going out to these parks. So Czech said, let's start a run club, because you're inspiring. He said the hood, yeah. You're inspiring the hood N-word, yeah. You're inspiring us. You're the only black guy running, making it trendy, to the point where London people are messaging us, Birmingham.
Fucking good shit, innit?
Yeah, good shit, because running before was predominantly white people, run clubs. So I said to Czech, bro, you want to start a movement, and you're telling me all these things, come, let's go, start it with me, innit? Let's go. He knows what I'm on. He knows that my work rate's 150 plus, yeah. Once I start something, it's going to get finished. Yeah. At the time, I was in business with Yamin. I was in business with Martins, doing transport, restaurant. But, that was something that, was paying me. I wanted something for me. Yeah, and I believe that running was that. Jail was a reminder. High school was a reminder. Let's create this running movement, not a business, a running movement. Let's get people outside running, like Chet says, for the hood, for the culture, for the community. We're young, fresh. We can do what Parkrun are doing. We can do what other run clubs are doing. We don't have to be athletes. We don't have to be footballers. We don't have to, get checks and pass certain trials. Let's do it for our people. That's why the run club started.
How did this change from gang mentality to team spirit? The two fucking ends of a spectrum.
Yes. Gang mentality, selling drugs as a collective, as a team, as a gang. You need to listen to one another. There's a lot of skills there. There's a lot of transferable skills that you still need to apply it in business, in community, in run clubs. Yeah. You need a team.
Yeah.
So me and Czech quickly made a team. So I was known to be, I was getting described as being Usain Bolt when it came to 5Ks. Yeah. We had to have a conversation about, I said to Czech, I said, if we're going to start a run club, it's going to scare a lot of people, because in the pandemic, I was asking people. So we started a run club in 2023, July. It's coming up to 2 years. Shit.
Wow, fuck, it's not even been 2 years.
It's not even been 2 years, coming up to 2 years. I was making posts on who's coming out on a run, starting a run club, made running, free event, who's coming. Peel Park, Salford, whatever, who's coming. First run, we had 8-9 people. Funny story. My friend Nahor was chilling in the car. Again, a 5K run is easy to do now. Everyone's doing it. It's a trend now. Back then, it was a long distance run. It's like doing a marathon. It's 5 kilometers, 5,000 meters. Yes, it's mad. Yeah, you need to be mentally trained up here. And you need to be physically fit. You need some form of gym in you. Yeah. So we quickly had a conversation with Jack. I said, if we're going to do this, we're going to have to run at the back or run with people. So we knew that 15 people will come. At the time, only 8 people turned up. Big up everyone who turned up, because they believed in the movement. We ran with him. We promoted it again. We said it was going to be a weekly thing. We made it trendy, bouncy. We put the speakers on music. Why? Because we wanted people to forget about the run. Yeah, like don't focus on the run. Just focus on completing it. Because I know what they're going to feel like. What I felt when I was in prison and school after completing a run, I felt like a winner without receiving a trophy. I've just completed something that the Olympians complete. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
That doesn't get celebrated enough. So we started clapping. And then they were like, yo, the guys that came on the first one was like, why are you clapping? So we're clapping because you're just on a 5K, well done. Hugs straight away. They couldn't believe it. Yeah. When I finished that run, all my runs, park runs in prison, they were quicker than me. Certain guys were quicker than me. The park run lot, they were clapping for me. They were giving me trophies, medals. Well done, mate. Smashing it. Them words there are trophies. These are words that you don't hear where we come from. Yeah. Where we come from, the only person that gets celebrated is that football player there. Or that person that just turned into a doctor. Now we have to go to this person's house to celebrate this guy being a doctor. This person's turned into a teacher, party. This person graduated from university, party. Yeah, we're going to auntie's house because your cousin celebrated. See him, and this is what you need to be like. Hearing that as a kid, you ain't even trying to hear all that as a kid. It makes you hating them. Not hate, but it's like, come on, do you know what I mean? You need more people out there saying like, yo, you've also got a talent. You're not a doctor. You didn't make it to doctor level, teacher level. You didn't make it to whatever level it is. But look, you made it to this level. Well done. Let's celebrate that. That's all we was doing. That's all parkrun done to me. That's all a lot of run clubs are doing now to their communities. Very important. In order for people to grow, you need to tell them, well done. Never worked a job before, but when I worked in this call center, like I was describing before, whilst I was on trial, I was getting celebrated for making sales. And that used to boost me up. Again, it increased my confidence level, something I was already good at. But the more my confidence is at a high, the more I'm going to perform. Yeah. I believe that having high confidence is a cheat code because you're going to put a lot of people in doubt. There's a lot of things in a call center, in running, just through the way I speak, the way I present myself, the way you present yourself. If you become confident, like a Ronaldo, the way he presents himself, you're going to win the race. You're going to get the most calls in the call center. I ended up getting another job as well, by the way. When I got released the second time in the call center, shout outs to Tommy. He was my manager at the time. He helped me a lot. But good at sales, confident, speaking to customers, not reading off the scripts, creating my own scripts. Yeah. Understanding the product. Yeah. As soon as that call goes down, it's something out of Wolf of Wall Street. I'm being celebrated. Well done, Hermen. You've just got 6 sales before lunchtime. The target was 4, mate. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to kill it. In my head, I'm going to kill it in this call center. What commission? Legit money. Yeah, walking away with £1,500 commission. I'm thinking, yo, like, sweet. These are the things that, you know, made me start my own business. Starting a business is scary.
Yeah.
You need money.
Yeah.
Every drug dealer, fraudster, business person has money. Start a business now. It's tough. You need confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are the little things that count. You need to get celebrated in order to have confidence.
Yeah.
Back to the point. Check gave me a lot of confidence when it came to this new journey of mine, running and turning running into a career, boosting me up throughout the run club. I learned that from him. I've learned to, we call it ginger and gas people up more because of Check. He's good at that. If he sees a talent in you, he'll let you know. He's not shy. Whereas some people, I don't know where it is, because I had the same thing, to be honest. You don't feel like saying it. You can see someone smashing it. Yo, it's one comment on Instagram. Well done. Smashing it. They'd be like, the way cut, they'd be like, yo, smashing it. Yeah, sweet, I'm going to do it again. And that's one thing that Check, myself now and others have made.
Yeah, you're doing that for people. You're doing that with people now.
Of course.
You've got a lot of people who never ran before started running with you.
We've got half of Manchester. We've got people that visit us from early days, because at the time, like I said before, there was no run club like it. We had people from London, Leeds, Birmingham, coming to Manchester because they wanted to see why so many black people mix with white people, mix with Asian people, why so many people are running together, and why the hell do they all look happy?
What the fuck is happening?
What the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
I'm having the council write to me. I'm having certain people, the government, articles knocking on doors, BBC, sport brands. You know, I'm grateful because it's come with a lot of opportunity. Think, Hermen, what have you created? Like, what's your background? Yo, I'm just a guy from a council estate that was in prison.
That's what you call strange ways.
That started in strange, was scared, that utilized my confidence, believed in myself to start a movement, to start something. That was it. And then with that came Made Running. The biggest run club, I believe. I'm going to keep screaming it. And shout outs to all run clubs in America and the UK. The biggest run club in the world, pretty much. Why? Because we run 3 times a week. We're getting silly numbers for the runs. We get silly numbers outside of runs because we do different types of events. And check out Made Running. Yeah.
What are the silly numbers?
Yeah, so again, depending on weather, we get from 100 to 150 to 200, 300 people running in one day. And we've got 3 different runs depending on the weather. That's all it is, yeah? And depending on the time as well, we've got different times. We run at 5 a.m., we run at 7 p.m., we run at 9 a.m. So people pick. It depends on people's moods. We've got 200 people that come on this day. That's a different community. We've got a city centre community. We've got a party community. When we do our events, we've got people that want to be attached to Made Running because it's a movement. We celebrate small wins. We've got people that want to be a part of this because of the events. We've got people that want to be a part of it because of the networking events, the fitness. We've got a community with over 8,000 people now. If we take it to social media, we've got a community with over 60,000 people or 59,000 followers. We've got a massive community. It's the biggest run club or the biggest movement. Don't like the word run club. The biggest movement in the world, pretty much, that started from someone who isn't an influencer, who isn't a football player, an actor, a model, a Kim Kardashian or whatever it may be. It started from someone local.
You need to understand, you're not an influencer, you're a person of influence.
I understand that now.
Huge difference, right? You are making a change in people's lives, right? I want to go back to a very, a deep aspect about our society. I think a lot of times people are not able to reform because the community itself doesn't let people get back into it. It's very difficult when you get out of prison, or you're in a position, or you're known for something, and then to rewrite your entire thing from a scratch. So, you will never have the slate clean. You always have people thinking about it, especially when you come out the first time. I think it is also society's responsibility. And when you use the word community, a lot of people today, I say community, the word community has been fucking bastardized.
Stresses me out.
Every fucker says,
community.
We are a community-based gym. Are you fuck?
It goes back to buy a party.
Yeah.
So you see what we started? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
You see when we started this movement, remember, we started this with purpose. There's a lot of run clubs out there now. There's a lot of fitness events, communities, even businesses now are screaming community. There's a lot of people out there that screen community for a business opportunity. I get it, because at some point you need to be making money. You can't be doing free forever. I get it. I only respect some. So I only speak to run clubs, and I only collab with run clubs, and shout outs to all the rest of the run clubs and gym communities and other businesses that are doing the right thing. I only speak to certain ones that have a meaning behind it. Why? Because a lot of them, like you just said, are utilizing the word community because it's trending.
Correct.
Because of people like us, because they see success in it.
Yeah.
Oh, community. It's not about community. It's what is it you're doing in the community. So there's a lot of stress that goes on behind this whole run club. And anyone will tell you, imagine running a community with over 8,000 people on WhatsApps, this app, this, that, Instagram, getting messages from all over the show, and you're not even being paid for it. You're dealing with people's stress. Hey, I'm running my knee. I'm no doctor. This person met that person, and this person got into a relationship with this person. I seen something on Instagram that said run clubs are for people to get together and have relationships with and have sex or whatever it is. I don't know about their run clubs, but my run club's got a purpose. If that's what you want to come to my run club for, by all means, but 99.9 or 101.111 of people that come to my run club is to be better in life, innit? Don't get me wrong, some people come for different reasons, but what we deal with, my team, behind the run club or after the runs, is mental. Yeah, mental. We're not being paid for it. Yeah, we are doing community. We're sitting on the phone to people for over an hour listening to their problems. Yeah, I now speak to a lot of prisoners, ex-prisoners. I'm speaking to people that, you know, have just coming out of hospitals. I'm speaking to people that have just come out from employment. They're writing messages. I don't even have the answers. I'm having to speak to Robert, to Josh, like, yo, have you got experience in there? Can you please just da-da-da-da-da? I'm not being paid for it. I'm doing community work. This person doesn't have shelter. Stay at mine. If you can't stay at mine, stay at this person's or apply for this. We're job center. We're probation. We are a community. Whereas other people scream community. When I go and visit their communities now, because I'm intrigued and I also want to learn still, I want to know how we can keep growing. When I'm visiting their communities, it's like, what he's doing? No one said hello to me. Do you get me? How is this a community? Do you even know what community means?
It's completely commercialized. I want to go back to Hermen. You also spending a lot of time with kids and, you know, people who have, offenders, and you're trying to help them, reinvent themselves, and you're telling children about what they should not be doing and how they can make a good career for themselves. Tell me about this journey. Why did you decide to do that? And how's it been for you? You know, when you went to the school for the first time, what was your feeling, and how do you feel after it now?
Big. It's only right. It's only right I do the work I'm doing. I feel like the whole interview was just based on celebrating small wins. Myself, my other friends, and others that can relate to this, we've not been celebrated enough for our talents unless you're a certain idol, whatever it is. It's only right I go into schools, prisons to deliver my story and celebrate other people's wins, just to give him hope, to show that, look, you've got a second chance, you can start again, whether it's coming out of employment or coming out of prison, coming out of hospital. It's only right that I share my story so there's a little bit of belief. Because if there's no one like it, again, in prison, you get people that come to your cell like, yo, thanks for that help. Or if you need milk, I struggle certain times in prison. These are the things that I want to apply outside of prison. Yeah. I keep saying that prison's like, there's a mad different community in there if you do it properly. You can survive prison if you utilize it properly. And the reason why I go into prison is to deliver this message. For those of you guys that are stuck in here, utilize one another, get to know one another, stop beefing, stop gangbanging, you don't need to. Obviously, I can't get involved in certain politics, but utilize one another. If you're smart in business, yeah, and you got caught out, change your life around, man, because we're going to keep getting caught at some point, yeah. Speak to this person who's experiencing business when you get released and fly, yeah. And it's the same thing when I go into schools. Look, guys, when I was in school, I never had anyone older that said I was good at cross country, that believed in me, or said I was good at the bleep test, for example, yeah. Please celebrate small wins. If someone does good, say well done. Yeah, that's my message. Because when you guys leave school, if you're not doing that now, when you guys leave school, life's gonna come at you at 100 miles per hour and you will fail. You're gonna need people around you. Stop being stubborn. Stop being an old Hermen and be the new version of yourself. And the new version of yourself is coming out of your comfort zone. Yeah, learning to be confident, taking risks, real risks. Yeah, working on talents, skills. If you've never read a book before, read a book. Yeah, read people's stories, watch podcasts, learn. if I could go back in time, I'd watch more podcasts on ex-criminals. I probably won't do half the things I've done. I'd be scared. I'd be like, 6.5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Encro. I'd be like, see you later. If I was educating myself, I'd be like, yeah, see you later. I wasn't. I was looking up to the wrong things. My time was Facebook, MySpace, Bebo. Instagram was very new. Instagram wasn't even paying. Nothing was paying back then. Yeah. Whereas now I tell the kids that, look, I'm now being paid off these social media platforms. Utilize it. Work on your hidden talents from now. Because back in my time,
but you know, social media is only a tool. You've done a lot of work on ground.
Yes.
Social media is just showing people what you've done. Run me through this journey of getting those first 8 people to the run and to where you are today. How did you build this? And because this is done organically, you didn't have the money. It was not you getting some sponsors to give money to you to get people in. You got people on pure merit and the true word community.
Again, for the story, so this was literally, the 15 people that popped up, I believe that Czech had some people, I had some people. I know what my people are like. My people are stubborn, yeah? Some of my people were still getting up to no good or whatever, but it's about changing the mindset. And again, a message to anyone that's getting up to no good. Keep doing what you're doing, but try and change it ASAP. Yeah? Try and invest, try and go legit. Yeah. I care in it. Like I said, I'm a good person. I want my people to change it around in it. So I said to my guys, but my guys are stubborn. I've got 2 different friendship circles, by the way. I've got the legit guys and I've got the guys that get up to no good. Yeah, they're my guys forever. The guys that popped up was like, yo, this is sick, you know. Like, remember, these risk takers, they're the guys that, you know, buy into it, yeah? I'm saying, look, please turn up tomorrow. I knew that all 15 wasn't going to turn up, yeah? Please turn up tomorrow. Chet's guys were the exact same. Please turn up tomorrow. I promise you. I'm not, bro, just going to leave, man. Yo, if I come, trust me. Bro, I'm saying, please just turn up. Because if you come, the guys that look up to you will come.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Remember, these guys are better than me, you know. So I'm thinking, yo, if I can get my boys to come, their friends will come, and now we can start a legitimate movement. Do you get what I'm saying? But it was off an Instagram post, a story, Run Club, tomorrow, 9 a.m., Salford. Turn up, bring your water, bring your shoes, bring your energy. That was it. And then 8 to 9 pulled up. As the weeks went by, we're telling people, please share. If you had a good experience, please share it on socials, utilize it. Thank God that social media is free. I believe that they're going to start charging us soon. They already are with the ads, yeah. But it grew because of how positive it was, how respectful our community is. They believe in it. They believe in my story, other people's stories now. We've got hella stories now. It's growing because of them. We all started off with one Instagram post and people believing in the process, in the journey. Yeah, like I said, since coming out of prison, I've not give up, and I never will. I've not give up. So there's a lot of people that follow me. The people that did turn up, they knew a little bit about Jack, and they knew a little bit about me, and they knew that we were hard workers. Yeah, where we don't stop.
From not having shoes for your first run to having your own line of shoes with Adidas.
Not line of shoes. So basically, I'll explain it. Our biggest collab today. So we've collabed with Asics. We've collaborated with Puma. We've collaborated with Sports Direct. We've collaborated with however many brands. Yeah. This weekend, gone Saturday, we've collabed with JD Sports. Again, shout outs to Czech, Lucille, and everyone who made it happen. So Adidas, I've got a new shoe, the Adizeros SLs. We basically got the call. These are runner shoes. These are also shoes that.
So you're an ambassador for them now.
Pretty much, you can call it that. Yeah, for the time, but you can call it that. Yeah. We got the call basically to promote the shoe. We got the call to, you know, have the opportunity to work with JD Sports and having our name attached to him. And they basically done all the work. All we needed to do was, you know, if we genuinely like the shoes, try it and speak on the shoe. Our biggest campaign to date, this was Saturday just gone. We had 480 people in one day. I call it 500, yeah. We had 500 people that pulled up, queuing up for the shoe. Some people bought, some people got it as a giveaway. Mental, we celebrated like there was no tomorrow because it was Made Running attached to JD Sports, attached to Adidas.
Fuck, how does it feel, man?
Mental.
Honestly, this is like...
The conversation's been, for the last 3 days, the conversation has been Made Running, JD Sports, Adidas. Mental. Like, who would have thought in it? But yeah, this shoe...
Would you have thought?
Pardon?
Would you have thought 18 months back?
Nah, definitely not. Definitely not. A lot's happened in my career, in my journey, since coming out of prison. Before this big collab, before Made Running, I've been approached by other brands to work with them because of the way I document myself, the way I market myself basically as a runner. I've had the opportunity to work with ASICS. I've had the opportunity to work with JD Sports. Again, shouts to Czech. I've had the opportunity to do a lot. So that hit different, number one. Now this, a brand being next to JD Sports, being next to Adidas, in a store, mental, different feeling.
Fucking hell.
Different feeling. And the community there supporting it, posting it, different. It's unbelievable. It's 10 times worth more than money.
I know.
It's like, wow,
I know.
It's doable. Yeah, like we're not out here running for no reason. Like, it's doable.
I know.
There's times where we've run, it's like, yo, we're looking at each other, this whole team speaking like, yo, what we actually running for? People on the outside, I've got friends that looked at me like, yo, you man are doing all this running. What for? Judging us. That's what's for. Adidas, JD Sports, campaign, billboards. We didn't put a penny into ads. They sorted all that. Shout outs to JD Sports, shout out to Adidas, Neil, Lucille, Czech, everyone who made it happen. Yeah, man.
So what's next for you?
Go bigger. That's it. That just shows me like this hunger doesn't stop.
Define bigger. What do you want to do?
Define bigger. So we've got Manchester. We believe that we're getting the UK. We're going to take over other countries. We're going to take over Africa. We're going to take over other continents. We're going to take over Asia. With the same work, same mission, same journey, same message. Yeah, no one gets left behind. Manchester is just the start. The UK is just the start. We're going to dominate. It's that simple. Other brands have done it. Adidas did it. JD Sports have done it. Gymshark's doing it. Abel's doing it. Why can't we do it? We're doing it. We're doing it. That's what's next for us. We go bigger. Yeah, we're educating people. People will be wearing our stuff. And I said it here first, innit? 2025, 2026, 2027. And the rest of the years, we go bigger.
Yeah. Dream big.
Dream big. Yeah. And if there's no dream, create that dream. That's all I've done. And it's coming to show now.
It's an absolutely inspiring story. You know, I would end by saying, I mean, I've never done a podcast like this before. You know, your story is truly inspiring. It's not lip service. I mean it when I say that. And, you know, I would say, you know, Hermen Dange was born, but he was made.
Come on. Hermen Dange was born, but it was made. The community was born in July 2023, and the community is now Made Running. And yeah, it'll be international very, very soon. Again, shout outs to every single person also that comes to support us from other cities, people that speak positively about the brand, people that make that first step, they take that risk to come and do the 5K, and then they understand that it's not a 5K, it's a family movement. Shout outs to them because they're doing the work for us. And yeah, man, we're not going to let us down. We're now doing it for the people that believe in us, not the people that believe in Hermen Dange, the people that believe in Made Running. Yeah. Because this is bigger than running.
Yeah. Thanks for doing this, Hermen.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you.
I'm absolutely made.
Yes. Come on. Yeah.
Cheers, man.
Yes. Yeah, man.
I think everybody has a calling. Everybody has some strength. The thing is, we try to amplify our weaknesses, or the society does that for you. You need to understand there are one or two things you'll always be good at. Now, this could be as simple as running. This could be football, this could be cricket, this could be, public speaking, whatever it is. But if you are good at something, you should start spending time on it and become the best in the world. And that's what Hermen has done. He said, you know what, I hold the record for the fastest 2-lap, whatever it is called, in the school, 5 minutes 59 seconds. I hold that record, and you know what, I will do this. I will make this into my big win. And what did he start doing? Simple. Get people to start running 5K or start doing runs and feel good about themselves. He spoke a lot about, small wins. Nobody gives the small, when you do something small, which is still an achievement in a way, like completing a 5K, those hugs mean a lot. Those claps. I remember on the podcast, he said, people start clapping. So what are you clapping about? So you just completed a 5K run. Congratulations. Society doesn't do that enough. And that's wrong. A community has to be a reflection of how the society truly is. The society's got mothers, the society's got elderly, the society's got really young people. If you want to build a true community, it has to be a reflection of how your society is. And I think what Hermen's done really well, he's been able to embrace the diversity in the country that exists, in demographics, in where people come from. He spoke a lot about, you have people, you got white people coming in, you got black people coming in, you got Asian coming, you got people from everywhere coming in. You got people who are, like you said, mothers with prams who are coming in for runs. What does it tell you about people's mindset? The only thing that's the most difficult to get in a community, in a true community, not the fucking commercial one, is sense of belongingness. I think that's something Hermen's done really well. He's given people the belief that they belong there. And I love it when he says, nobody gets left behind.